Yo, it's your boy Logos, and today I want to react to Joe Rogan discussing the JFK assassination because I plan on doing a Lamino reaction to his breakdown of the JFK assassination, which I only assume going to add more detail, context, and understanding to the event. I'm not that deep into the whole conspiracy theory, but I do think it's a bit of an inside job. I think bare minimum, there was negligence, and there was a cover up to at least help people not get exposed or get their jobs taken away because of the president getting shot. When you factor in they was watching Lee Harvey Oswald leading up to the shooting, or even beforehand, maybe a year or so before he actually killed JFK, it just makes you think about things. And also when you keep in context of World War One, and there was a president or a high-ranking figure in the government being killed, and that led into a world war, especially then you have the Cold War and nuclear arms being involved, it really makes you think, was a cover-up best or not for the whole overall humanity? And not just thinking about United States and our pride and dignity as a country. I'm an American. I love being American. I'm a dying American. But at the end of the day, I don't want us to go to World War III because of a president getting assassinated. I understand I said a bad president makes people think you could do what they want, but nuclear arms and humanity ending over this stuff isn't worth it. Let's get into it.
Joe Rogan experience.
Hear about this? This just popped up on New York Times. This guy claims he's like the last witness of the JFK assassination.
Whoa.
He claims, I was just reading through it, he claims he's the one who found the bullet in the car, placed it on the gurney next to Kennedy's body. Like, he's the one who found the magic bullet.
Whoa.
Yeah, but ask that guy about ghosts. I have a ghost that visits me every evening.
He also happens to be
Tells
selling
me
a
the
book.
lottery numbers, but I don't play it because it's not ethical.
He's selling a book that's coming out.
Of
recently,
course.
too,
Of course.
Sam, is it possible it was Lee Harvey Oswald?
Oh, he's
No,
one of the
no,
Secret
never.
Service agents.
No, never.
That makes it more interesting. He was a
Bro,
Secret Service agent.
Educate Brian on Lee Harvey Oswald.
Well, have you ever seen the video where the Secret Service gets pulled off?
No,
And he's like,
that's-
what? And the car
No,
takes
that's
off.
not a
Because
real-
they were going
that
down a different
whole-
route.
That's not a real video, is it?
That's a real
It's
video.
a real video, Brian.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
what's
the
really
Secret
I don't know
Service
about that
was supposed to
video.
be with him the entire time, and
Yes.
they pulled away from him.
the Supreme
They went a different route,
weird
dude.
because
Really?
all
It's pretty
his
fishy.
whole trip, he's surrounded like the Beatles.
Right.
And then at this one point in the plaza, there's nobody around. It's really creepy. And you're like, what is going
and he's
on?
in a convertible.
Yes. Did he?
Yeah, that's
didn't
the
he
crazy
say
thing,
he
convertible.
wanted to go in a convertible? Wasn't it he who said he didn't want shield around him? I think that.
Yeah, I
Kennedy
think
said-
that's true.
I never heard that.
No.
I never heard that. You know what they
Because they
did with
pulled him
look
off of
that up,
Chicago a
That's
week
some
before.
CIA talking point.
Yeah, that's
Dude.
what,
This
what
guy's trying
class
to
did you
offend.
learn?
Wait, so from my understanding, politicians often go in the crowds, especially, when they're trying to get reelected or going into a new place or city, like I think Kennedy was doing when he was in Dallas at the time. And from my understanding, he has a history of doing this type of thing, going away from the crowd and going away from his Secret Service agents and walking into the crowd to shake hands with supporters. So I don't know if that's true or not, because like I'm saying, I'm not an expert in this realm. This whole realm of conspiracy theories is something I don't really get into. I'm more into other conspiracy theories, but this stuff is something I am interested in. So you have more resources, more videos. I'll definitely check them out and I'll do a reaction to it.
Learn
Yeah,
that.
I heard he wanted to go into that
Hey,
convertible.
B, in that convertible, as soon as assassination happened, they rushed that computer and wiped that convertible and wiped it down. So there's no evidence in the
there's
convertible.
so much stuff, dude.
yeah.
Is
There's
that not
so
weird
much
to
stuff.
you? They
Well,
washed it all
Oliver
out.
Stone talking about it was interesting because he was talking about Curtis LeMay and all those guys, and it's not surprising that they would. Do
The
something
CIA,
like that.
deep mafia roots in Dallas.
Well,
Jack Ruby.
The
Not
really
only
weird
that,
is
like-
Jack Ruby shooting him. Like, why would he
Well,
do
well,
that?
do you
What's
guys-
the point of that?
You know
right?
how everyone's talking about Biden and the votes and all that, the numbers, and whether that makes sense or not. Dude, JFK's election was the exact same thing.
Oh,
They're pulling
shenanigans.
Yeah, dude, the mob was
The
pulling-
mob got it for him in Chicago.
And that's because of his
100%.
dad. Because of his dad, yeah.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
Yeah.
No, the only thing I have, the only conspiracy theory that does make some sense to me is
What?
Kennedy.
The only one ever?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The only one?
What
There are
about
other ones.
Enron?
What about the
Enron wasn't
scandemic?
a
What
Enron
about
was a
Gulf of
conspiracy that-
Tonkin?
Enron
For
was a
real.
conspiracy and they did time
What
in
about
jail.
the Gulf
That
of
wasn't-
Tonkin?
Bay
What
of
about
Pigs?
Operation Northwoods?
Yeah, but I'm saying all
That's
of
the
those.
craziest one.
That's a crazy one.
Operation Northwoods was, but hold on.
Here we go. This is
Hold
the
on.
best.
Operation Northwoods
I don't know why Brian does
was the Joint Chiefs of Staff came up with a bunch of different suggestions for the president.
Brian, they
That
signed
happens.
that. The Joint Chiefs of Staff signed off on Operation Northwoods, which means they were gung-ho to blow up a jetliner and blame it on Cuba. They were going to arm
100%.
Cuban friendlies and
That's a
attack
fact.
Guantanamo Bay.
So
They
hold on.
wanted to give us motivation to go to war with Cuba.
Excuse me, but when the president says to his Joint Chiefs, when he says to his military brass, he says, come up with different scenarios of what we do with this problem. Everything is on the table. You get 1,000
Really?
Killing
suggestions.
American civilians.
Exactly,
You get
that's
a
not-
1,000
Brian, that's a
suggestions,
conspiracy.
And Kennedy said
Brian.
no.
Yeah.
It's not a conspiracy.
Brian,
no,
It
it's
is
not.
a conspiracy.
It
It's
is
not a
100% a
It is
conspiracy to
100%
lie
not.
to the American people
They-
through blowing up a jet. It is a plan to lie to the American. They conspired to create a scenario that did not exist. They were going to blow up a jetliner. They were going to attack Cuban friendlies. They were going to kill Americans.
No, so
the public gets behind it.
So
God
again,
damn
so
it.
again,
Brian,
again, guys,
do you think-
that's not accurate?
Brian, do you think
What's
they just
not
took those
accurate?
plans and threw them out? Oh, he doesn't like them. Let's
Yes.
just
What
throw them
happens-
out in
what
the trash
happens-
can.
What happens is the military comes to your civilian infrastructure, your president, the executive, and says, here are the suggestions. Kennedy said no, 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 and no. This is not constitutional.
What are the
You're
other
not allowed
ones?
to do that. There are legal issues.
What
you
are the
can't
other
do.
ones other than Operation Northwoods that he did that with? That were scenarios that would get us into war with Cuba.
Iran Contra?
No,
and
no,
they
no.
got
That would get
found
us
out.
into war with Cuba. By the way, that's another conspiracy that
Yes.
was real.
Yes.
Not only that, the
Exactly.
Sandinistas and when the Contras and the Sandinistas fought and they sold cocaine
Yes.
in Los Angeles to fund that. That's another
I'm
conspiracy.
not
What about Fast and Furious? From what I understand, there was some type of deal involving, I think, like arm deal in Mexico, and that kind of led to some type of casualty of either American citizens or American soldiers. It's been about a decade since I heard about, or at least read about, that whole event taking place. But from my understanding, it was called Fast and Furious or something like that. I know it's not kind of cheesy because there's a movie about it, but whatever. They have weird names for everything. MK Ultra.
not saying
Oh,
that.
no, that's
I'm not
100%.
saying that rogue elements
So
in
don't
different
say
places do
that that's the
illegal
only
things.
conspiracy you believe in, because that's not true.
Brian, do
You
you
just
think that
admitted to
weapons
4.
of mass destruction just was a big
No,
miscalculation?
No. Let me be clear.
Okay.
I
Iraq
100%. I 100% think that
Yeah.
different like parts of the government, whether it's State Department, Department of Defense, there are elements within those who want to push an agenda forward and will bend rules and do things that are illegal
Okay.
if they can. Yes.
Right.
We have a lot of examples.
Do you
in
think
history
they
of where get
conspire to
caught.
do that, Brian?
I'm sorry.
Did they conspire to do that?
They do conspire to do
Okay.
that.
And we're in.
But
And we're there.
Interesting.
we find out about these things. Why?
You're the perfect
Why
guy
do
to do a show like this with Sam Tripoli, by the way.
I know. That's why
'Cause
people
you're
like
so bad at
Conspiracy Social
defending
Club, everybody.
the deep
Conspiracy
state.
Social Club.
You're so bad at defending the deep state. You make everybody a Sam Tripoli fan. It's
No,
great.
no, no.
I love it.
No, what I'm saying is that there are a lot of competing interests within government.
Yeah. When you two got together, I was so happy because it was like Sam's gonna crack him.
Yeah.
It's a matter of
And
time.
I get
'cause
him 1 week.
Sam's not stupid. He just goes so deep that
Yes, he does.
sometimes
It
he's
gets a
not
little
really
crazy.
in water anymore. It's like he's in the bedrock.
Yeah.
It's like, Sam, you got to go a little higher. The reason, the Joint Chiefs of Staff document, the reason they were held so long is the Joint Chiefs never wanted these up because they were so embarrassing.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they fucking asked for it. The whole point of a democracy is to have leaders responding to the public will. And here, this is the complete reverse. The military trying to trick the American people into a war, Brian, that
You know what?
they want, but nobody else wants.
You got this on Putin.com, and I want you to
That's
go
on
to
ABC News, son.
Are you serious?
ABC News.
Yeah.
Putin.com. Oh, yeah, he probably just trolling with that, but I've been watching Joe Rogan for almost a decade now. Since like 2016, 2015. Bryan Callen has always been full of shit and talking out of his ass half the time. So I'm not really surprised by this, but I'm of the opinion that there was some shady shit going on, especially when you consider all the money in the military industrial complex, corporations, all the other people involved in this stuff. The whole idea that conspiracy theories don't exist is a lie. And from my understanding, the whole term conspiracy theory is like a CIA, I don't know, term, word that was concocted to try to undermine people who think that type of way, to make them seem more ridiculous to the American people who listen to that type of stuff. I don't know, it just doesn't work on me. People like Bryan Callen just enables government to do what they want. They don't question, they don't critical think, they just say fuck it. I don't know. I think the whole point is to call this stuff out, no matter if people think you're crazy or not. Just go with the evidence and logic. Of course, you're not always going to be right, not going to always be perfect, because nobody is. But it's better to be on the side of, I don't know, truth, justice, wisdom, humility, and just try to be on the side of power and what makes you feel safe and comfortable. I'm going to do a reaction to Lamino's JFK Assassination video, where it breaks it down step by step. But of course, come in the comments and tell me what you think. He's probably going to give the official story or a take on it with more details compared to other people. But I highly doubt going to be a conspiracy theory side. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Logos, and I'll see you next time. Peace.